back to episode 2. Shit. All right, we're gonna restart.
God damn it!
All right. I'm gonna include this. All right. Welcome back to episode 3 of SportsForLife podcast. All right. Today was a very interesting. This week was very interesting in football. Probably the best week we've had in a very long time. For 1 week of football. I'm here with Aaron and Josh. Y'all know them. Y'all say hi.
Yes, sir. Let's rock it. Big flop. Woo woo.
Panther Nation, baby, 2-0. You know how it is.
You can't beat them, Jordan.
Sammy D.
That is true.
Sam Darnold is
all right. How y'all feeling today? Because I'm actually like a little bit sick. I'm getting over a cold as we speak right now. So, and some allergies. But how y'all feeling?
I feel great. Week 2 is beautiful, man.
I have a little mild depression that there's no football tonight, but other than that, I'm good. That's why we're here to talk about it.
My voice and my heart need a break after week 2. Very stressful, very intense, but
let's get right into
big float.
Let's get right into it.
Before we get into that, we're going to bring us our today's sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Huge Parlays. If you're a gambler, you should look into making parlays of large proportion. Make the biggest parlay possible, but keep in mind of one thing: don't include the Lions. They will put you in a world of hurt. We saw over the weekend that a gambler put a 16-team parlay and was correct on the first 15 games, but then had to rely on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, and he lost a $25 bet that would have won him $726K. But if he didn't include the Lions, he would have won a lot of money.
I really hope he hedged.
Before we do that, I just want to say, if you have a problem, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER to seek help. All right, let's get into a 3-minute drill. All right, cue the music. We kick it off in Landover, Maryland, where the Giants came to play the Washington football team. Daniel Radcliffe Jones put on a wizard-like performance but a holding call would stop him from fully becoming the White Lamar. Hold on one sec. Riverboat Ron and Taylor the Chosen One Heineke had different plans. After a play call that could have been featured on the next episode of World's Dumbest on True TV, Heineke throws an interception which put the Giants up with a minute to play, set him up for a field goal in chip shot range. The Chosen One, on the other hand, put his nuts on the table, set up Washington for a field goal, and they missed. But after a questionable call of offsides, the original D-Hop drills the ball through the uprights and Washington wins 30-29.
And then we head over to Chicago, where the Bengals took on the Bears. The Bears defense once again proves how dominant they are, intercepting Joe Burrow 3 times, sacking him 4 times. We were midway through the game, and all of a sudden, Andy Dalton limps off the sidelines, and half of America gets hard because Justin Fields enters the game. He played like shit, I'm not going to lie, but Bears got the dub. They almost blew it. It was like 20-3 or something. They hang on, win 2017, low-scoring fashion. We're going to see starting quarterback Justin Fields next week.
Then we head over to the shoulderless man himself, Baker Mayfield. Shoulder popped out of the socket? No problem. No Jarvis. After his injury, no Odell. No problem for the Browns. I would hope there wasn't a problem against the terrible Houston Texans. I will say Tyler Taylor getting hurt did kill the Texans. I think he was playing well when he was in, but after Davis Mills came in, it was GG. He's terrible. Good luck, Texans, watching him for the next month. Chubb had another good game, 95 yards at a tutty. Kareem Hunt, 51 yards. The receiving core was very spread out between the whole Browns without their 2-star receivers. Pretty easy win here once Mills came into the game, 31-21 Browns.
Man, oh man. The Jets are struggling. What a terrible game. Does Zach Wilson play for the Patriots defense? Because it sure looked like it. Rumors are flying around that Zach Wilson was hammered before the game and broke Mormon law, chunking a whole fifth of tequila.
He throws it up. Look at that elite ball placement.
He threw 4 interceptions on his first 4 incompletions, and there's nothing else to say, honestly. Patriots played a good game. Mac Jones, all right, but the real reason was their defense. Patriots win.
Elite ball. That's elite ball placement.
If there's one play that sums up the New York Jets, this one has to be it. This Patriots winning off the edge. This Jets lineman is probably holding. There's a Patriot charging up the middle at Zach with no blocking at all. This Jets dude is being pancaked on the ground. We have these two idiots staring at each other like, yo, what are we doing? I don't know, let's just stand here. We have 78 touching his own lineman. On top of that, we have two receivers with zero separation, and the cherry on top has to be Zach Wilson throwing this pick. And Corey Davis has no hops.
Now, how about Sam Darnold, baby? 300 yards and 2 touchdowns? Are you kidding me? This is against the defense that shut down Aaron Rodgers and the Packers just a week ago. I mean, the Saints were missing 8 coaches due to COVID, and they were missing 5 starters from a week ago. So I wouldn't look too much into this game, but 26-7 Carolina. It was a domination from start to finish. DJ Moore looked fantastic. Christian McCaffrey just picked apart that strong D-line of the Saints. And I think both teams are going to regress back to the mean in the coming weeks. It's going to be a great rematch later on in the season. But Carolina looks great. Saints defense looks great. They're missing Michael Thomas. 26-7 final, Carolina Panthers.
Then we head over to the John Gruden-led Las Vegas Raiders. Steelers went back to normal form this week. They suck. The Raiders are shocking the world nowadays. Derek Carr, another 382-yard passing game. He does lead the league in passing yards, from what I'm aware of. This dude is hot. You need him on your fantasy team. Let me tell you that. Najee Harris struggled again, only averaging 3.8 yards a carry. He did have a touchdown receiving, which was good for him, but I don't expect that to continue. Hunter Renfrow, I like the Red Sox Hunter Renfrow better. He's more of a cool guy, but this Hunter Renfrow is pretty good too. Had another great game. Ruggs finally showed out. Maybe he'll continue to do this for next couple of weeks, but I doubt it. The Las Vegas Raiders went into Pittsburgh, took care of business, 26-17.
We head down to Miami, where it was a one-sided kind of game. Tuamaloa Tagovailoa went down with a hip injury early in the first quarter, and it all went downhill from there. The Dolphins had chances with backup Jacoby Brissett, but they fumbled the bag and threw it away. Literally, 3 turnovers from him. Josh Reddick Allen wasn't dishing out anything special, but still got the job done. Bills are having fried dolphin wings as they win 35-0.
Philadelphia Eagles hosted the 49ers last week, and my God, this was an ugly game. If you're a 49ers running back, you might as well just put on bubble wrap wherever you go, because you're going to get hurt somewhere on your body. Raheem Mostert did not make an appearance in this game. Trey Lance did not make an appearance in this game. Brandon Ayuk, 1 catch for 6 yards. That's his biggest game of the season, baby. Jalen Hurts could not find a single receiver more than twice in this game. He struggled. However, on the ground, he did have 82 rushing yards, but just was not enough. Both of these defenses look pretty good. 49ers got a close, ugly win, 17-11 in Philly.
Then we head over to the Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald literally sprained both of Carson Wentz's ankles. Are you kidding me? How is that even possible? On the same tackle? Wow, that's impressive. Anyway, Matt Stafford impressed again as the Los Angeles Rams ran for 278 and a touchdown. Carson Wentz continued to show people why he is not a good NFL quarterback and will not lead a team to the playoffs ever again. Cooper Kupp had another dominant game, 9 for 163 and 2 touchdowns. That dude, that Stafford Kupp connection's looking very good. Very, very good, I will say. Johnny Hekker did get on the board with 1 carry for 0 yards. That's unfortunate, but it happens, you know. Rams once again impressed. They beat the Colts 27-24.
The snowy Vikings visit the Cardinals in the desert. You should have seen that coming. Kirk Boogie Cousins was dunking out all over the Cardinals defense. Dalvin Cook running up high, down low, to the left, to the right, as he goes for 131 yards. But MVP junior candidate Kyler Murray made play after play, eventually taking the lead with 4.5 to go. After a few punts, Kirk Cousins heroically leads a drive to the Arizona 19. I'm going to tell you again, the Vikings are not meant for the desert. In true Vikings fashion, the Vikings kicker shakes a 37-yard field goal to the right, and the entire state of Minnesota is now put up a for sale sign for a kicker. Cardinals win 34-33.
Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys heading to LA facing the Chargers, and my God, what a heartbreaking game for the Chargers. Justin Herbert, complete domination, 340 passing yards. Eckler looked great. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. It's going to be a fantastic duo all season long. Derwin James is back and healthy. He's elite. But the Cowboys did end up getting the dub thanks to Greg the Leg and Tony Pollard. Are you kidding me? He's leading them in rushing now? Anyways, CeeDee Lamb, he's just absolute monster of a receiver. We did see Amari Cooper get banged up a little bit. Dak didn't have the greatest game, 0 touchdowns and an interception, but he did get the job done. Unfortunately, the refs kind of screwed over the Chargers again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up the forward progress bullshit sack call. But 2017 final, like I said, Greg the Leg, game-winning field goal.
The most slept-on team in football, the Denver Broncos, took care of business against a terrible Jacksonville Jaguars team. Trevor Lawrence, 118 yards, 14 for 33, two picks as the number 1 pick in the draft. Ouch, they suck. Urban Meyer is not an NFL head coach. I will tell you that now. The one positive bright side they had, Marvin Jones Jr. and JJ had another great game, 655 and a tutty. And my man, wide receiver 1 for the Denver Broncos, Cortland Sutton, 9 receptions, 159 yards. Teddy Bridgewater, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. This Denver Broncos team is slept on, and they should not be. They will make a run for the playoffs this year. 23-13 Broncos.
Everyone thought the reigning champs would blow them out with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons, but Matt Ryan had a little fight in them. Elite team in the first half, but Gronk proves that he's still one of the best tight ends in the league. Tom Brady shows that he is still good enough to be elite in this league. He's been planning on being in this league for 5 more years, according to an interview. The game was close until the Falcons fans screamed shit twice, as Mike Edwards had 2 pick sixes and the Bucs win 48-25. And I would like to point out that Gronk did not even practice on Friday. He doesn't practice Fridays. He knows how to handle the ball in the red zone. He doesn't practice red zone. He only practices first and second down. That's why he's one of the best players in the league still.
Next, we head over to Washington, and Seattle Seahawks host the Tennessee Titans. And I hope you listened to our podcast last week because we said it was going to be a shootout. We said the Titans were in a great bounce-back spot. What do you know? Titans win in overtime. 63 is the total. And King Henry just absolutely destroyed the Seahawks. I don't really think anyone in that game saw that coming through the first half. Seahawks passing game looks absolutely phenomenal. A.J. Brown dropped like 300 passes in that game. I don't know what was going on. But these are going to be 2 very inconsistent defenses all year long, 2 very elite offenses. And it was basically a coin flip game. Seahawks kind of choked. Russell Wilson did have a good game. Tyler Lockett, another monster receiving game. Chris Carson chipped in as well. Julio finally broke out in week 2. But Tennessee ended up getting the dub 33-30 in overtime.
Now we're heading to the bank where the big flop, woo big trust is Lamar freaking Jackson. What have I been saying? He is an elite quarterback. Mike Vick ain't got nothing on my boy Lamar Jackson. Pick 6 first series? Who cares? Pick in the red zone? Who cares? When you got an elite defense like we do with my man Donnie Boy running the defense, my man Monroe calling a great game. What a game. Shootout, as we all expected. Mahomes, he looked good, as always. I hope his stupid brother pours more drinks on fans after they continue to lose games the rest of the season. Lamar freaking Jackson. Comeback king. Who said he couldn't come back during games? No one. Big flop, baby. 36-35 at the bank. Call it a win. Call it a comeback. Woo woo.
Now we go up to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I would like to say that the Lions looked very, very good in the first half. Probably the best half of football they'll play all year. The Packers are selling Swiss cheese, and the Lions bought it. But then in the second half, they were trying to resell it back, and the Packers bought it again, and the Packers just looked an even better team in the second half. Aaron Rodgers told everyone just to RELAX. Relax. And he proves that he still wants to win, even though he plays for a dysfunctional organization, as the Green Bay Packers get it done at home. 35-17. All right. That was it. I think it was pretty good. I'm better at this round. I just want to say that this, I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I want to reiterate on the fact that this was probably the best week of football that we've had in who knows how long. I mean, we were all, am I on mute? No. I thought I was on mute for a second, sorry. But I mean, it was all the games, most of the games were pretty close. All the 4 o'clock games were close. And Scott Hansen's Octobox is still electric. Still one of the most electric things in football. So how did y'all feel about this week?
I thought it was great.
Go ahead, Hirschberger.
I was saying the 4 o'clock games, all 4 of them were absolutely fantastic. They all came down to the wire except for the Tampa and Atlanta one. And all these primetime games, I believe they're 6-0 to the over so far. They've all been high-scoring, good finales. And we can expect that trend to stop this Thursday night when the Texans play the Panthers.
Football's just getting started, and football's back in full swing. Expect these games the rest of the year. It's going to be a great year.
All right. Now we're going to talk about some games. Let's start it off with probably something that we did not expect at all. But the Raiders at the Steelers. Are the Raiders like that good, or have they just played above their opponent? If that kind of makes sense, or have they kind of gotten lucky in some aspects of the game?
Josh, I'll let you take this one because we disagree.
I think the Raiders have sneaked into my top 10 in the power rankings after those 2 performances these first 2 weeks. The Ravens did give them the game. They should be 1-1, but that's how the world goes. That's football. I think the Raiders are here this year, and they're here to stay. Usually the Raiders choke at the end of the season when it gets to like week 10, but I think this year is going to be different. If they continue to play like this all year, Derek Carr continues to throw for 350 plus every game. I mean, how can you not count them as a playoff contender this year, especially in that tough division they're in? I mean, yeah, the offense looks really good right now. Defense still has some work to do. Their defensive line, it's very good. It is much better than everyone expected. The Steelers are still pretenders. I don't care what anyone says. They are pretenders. I mean, the Raiders beat 2 solid teams in their first 2 weeks. I don't see it stopping. I think they'll struggle against the Chargers and the Chiefs and then the Broncos as well. So they really need to take advantage of these games out of conference now, or out of division, I will say. But I think they're here to stay. I truly think they're here to stay this year.
And on the opposite side of the spectrum, I am very confident they're still going to be last place in that division. I think their defense is horrible, and they got lucky with injury luck against the Steelers. They had no business beating that team, but Devin Bush and Joe Hayden were both out. If they were both in, I think it would have been an easy win for the Steelers. As soon as I saw they were out, I was very skeptical. They did shut down Darren Waller, and that just made things unbelievably easy for Derek Carr to find Henry Ruggs and Bryan Edwards. Josh Jacobs was out. The run game did look a little mediocre against a really good defense, so I'm not going to read too much into the first 2 games. I think they're going to be a very inconsistent, like 8-9, 7-10 team this year.
Kind of like split in between. I think they're going to be like the Miami Dolphins of last year, where they're going to be good, but they're just going to miss out on the playoffs. I think that they have the capabilities to actually beat good teams, but they need to be consistent throughout the entire year. Sure, they got off to a hot start, but I don't think they can be consistent throughout the entire year coming up with that tough division. Moving on, we go to one of the more electric games, according to Aaron. I thought it was not that great, but it had a very controversial call between the Cowboys and the Chargers, where Justin Herbert got called for a sack when he was still standing straight up. How is that possible?
These new dumbass rules, man. I swear there was like 3 new rules I saw on Sunday, and they were all horrible for the game. It's like when a quarterback is getting tackled by 5 guys going backwards and still trying to throw it, you don't call it a sack. If the quarterback passes the ball and nobody catches it, it's not a sack. It's just common sense. That's how football works. It should not determine games. I'm not saying the Chargers should have won, but they were robbed of a fair chance.
It's America's team. America's team, they're going to get the calls. That's how it works. Jerry Jones be paying these refs all his millions of dollars that he has. No, but I will say the Cowboys continue to impress me. They beat a very good Chargers team. The Chargers, like we said, did get a little screwed at the end of the game there, but the Cowboys continue to impress. I mean, the Chargers, obviously, Herbert looked great. Offense looked good. It was way more low scoring than I predicted it to be. I thought it was going to be a shootout, like 35-30, but that's football. The two average defenses played well against two elite offenses. Cowboys continue to impress, and the Chargers continue to look good as well. So you can expect both these teams to make the playoffs this year and definitely make a run.
Yeah, I thought going into it that the Cowboys were the slightly better team anyways, but their defense did impress me a little bit. It's still not as good as the Chargers defense, but when they're missing Michael Gallup, offense is a little hinged. There was a lot of missed points in that game, like interceptions thrown in the end zone, stuff like that. So it was really a much more electric game than the scoreboard reflected. But yeah, I think both teams are pretty average moving forward. I think one of them will probably make the playoffs, and we'll see how they go. We'll see how they pan out.
Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott really didn't have exactly the best game. You guys agree? But I just feel like that we were kind of right last week when we said that if it was going to be a close game, it wasn't really a shootout, but it was going to be a close game, and the Cowboys were going to be the ones who happened to be on top, and usually it's like 50-50. Remember we said that last week when you said it was going to be a shootout, and since it was so evenly matched that the Cowboys were just going to be the ones that eventually ended up on top.
It came down to the ground game in that one. I think the Chargers' leading rusher was Eckler, who only had like 50-something yards, and Zeke and Pollard both had over 70. So they won that game on the ground for sure.
Yeah, they took the ball out of Dak's hand a little bit, which once again, that surprises me a little bit. Taking the ball out of his hands with that receiving core, especially
their offensive line is dominant as well.
Yeah, it's very dominant. And Tony Pollard's going to start taking these carries away from Zeke. So if you Zeke fantasy owners, I'd be a little worried.
Trade him to someone in your league who doesn't really know football.
Find some value.
All right. Now we go on to probably the most exciting game of the week. We go to Vikings-Cardinals in the desert. I don't think that that Cardinals defense is as good as everyone says. I think that sure they can show up sometimes, but they have to show up every week. And in order to be competitive in that tough division, they have to be able to compete every week. But they showed it against probably an above average offense where they kind of just got like toyed with a little bit. Kirk Cousins, very well. He did very well. He shows everyone that he should be the quarterback in Minnesota, even though everyone fucking hates him. I don't understand why. It's more of everything else around him. I'm not saying it's not Kirk Cousins' fault. He couldn't do more. But then again, it all comes down to a team game, and you win and lose as a team. And the Vikings lost that game on their own kicker. But, hey, it's the way that it turned out, and you can't complain about that.
I watched that game almost start to finish. I felt like I knew what was going to happen after the first quarter, everything that was going on. It was like Kyler, just every other play, was throwing it 40 yards downfield. And it worked out more than it didn't, but he threw a couple picks, I think. 400 yards, it was absolutely absurd. I know DeAndre Hopkins, Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk, Max Williams, and A.J. Green all had good games. So when you got a quarterback supporting 5 receivers like that, it's pretty hard to beat a team. And both defenses I thought were exposed a little bit on their weaknesses. They're both above average defenses still, in my opinion. Look for them to bounce back. But they came against good offenses. That's why it was a high-scoring game.
The question of the day, will the Minnesota Vikings ever in the history of their organization get over their kicker problems? No, I don't think so. They have them and the Chargers have two of the most unluckiest teams with kickers. Captain Kirk did his thing. I told you he was going to throw for 3-4 touchdowns. He did. Maybe not the yards, but great game. He did what he needed to. He was a general out there, led the team down to 37, 40-yard field goal to win the game. And once again, the Vikings blow it at the end of the game. This is what they do. They've done it throughout the history of their organization. I don't see it changing anytime soon. They should have won. They should have won. That's all I have to say.
All right. Now we go to a game that you two were correct on, but I was wrong. I thought that Seattle would have been the better team, but it turned out that Derrick Henry wanted to just shove that horse cock of a ponytail down Seattle fans' throats. I mean, they got it done. I mean, that no matter how you do it, you got it done. If it's on the ground, it's in the air, it doesn't matter. A.J. Brown, it seemed like he was scared to even go across the middle, Jamal Adams being there. And I don't know. It's just like Seattle was up, 24-9 or 23-9? So it was a great comeback by the Titans. And props to them. They were the better team in the second half. They probably were the better team all game. And they came out and won.
It was just too easy. It was such an easy bounce back spot. I don't know how anyone didn't see it. I mean, yeah, they got down early, but football's 4 quarters. You play the whole game. Seahawks let their foot off the gas. Titans put their foot on the gas in full acceleration in the second half. Derrick Henry, he's unreal. Julio finally had a breakout game after Vrabel was talking trash about him. I mean, like we said, clear bounce back spot here. I think everyone should have saw this coming. Yeah, I mean, it's too easy to see.
Yeah, I have these teams at 12 and 14 in my power rankings. I think it was a very even matchup. But when you look into the box score a little bit, I like to evaluate games in terms of who played better based on how many first downs each team got. And the Titans basically doubled the Seahawks in first downs, which you never see. So they really dominated the Seahawks all game long. The Seahawks, I think the only reason they were in the game is because they were connecting on almost every single deep ball that they could. They're not really a team that's going to grind it out with long drives. They're gonna hit you on that one deep play, and if the deep play is not there, they're not a good football team. So I think both teams are going to be very inconsistent all year. And like I said, the Titans, they're not going to win 2 games in a row or lose 2 games in a row. They're going to split. They're going to go back and forth. So I'm looking for them to disappoint next week. That's how I read them.
And what is up with DK Metcalf? Like, seriously. I don't know if he's even, like, trying as hard this year or something, or Tyler Lockett is stepping up, because Tyler Lockett has been putting up insane numbers the past 2 weeks, and he's kind of filling that role of wide receiver 1 for the Seahawks. Is there a problem? If they can get DK back, do you think that will solve the, I don't know, if not necessarily problems, would they help solve the kind of like evenness of the Seattle's offense?
DK didn't go anywhere. I'll still be very surprised if Tyler Lockett finishes the season as the number 1 wide receiver on that team. It's only been 2 weeks. Metcalf had 11 targets. Lockett had 11 targets. They're 2 good receivers with a great quarterback, and they're going to take turns having great games. I think DK's due for one any week now.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. DK's going to probably pop out for 150 and a tutty next week. I wouldn't be surprised. Lockett, I mean, he's small, he's fast, he's quick. Russell Wilson drops that pretty deep ball. He's not quite midget boy, but he's almost there. But no, I mean, with that connection between the two, when Lockett gets open down the field, you can almost guarantee that it's going to be a completion every time. Russell Wilson he throws probably one of the prettiest deep balls in the league, and I don't like. I agree with Aaron. I don't think DK has gone anywhere. I still think he's a great receiver. I mean, early season. I mean, I wouldn't even classify he's like struggling right now. He's still racked up a bunch of yards. He got a touchdown last week.
Yeah, he's 6 for 53 against the Titans. It's not horrible.
Yeah, I mean, he had a touchdown week 1 and had around 60, 70 yards again. So, I mean, he's off to a decent start, not what everybody expected, but it's still early. I think the Seahawks, like we all said, they're going to be inconsistent. So, we'll see on a week-to-week basis.
All right. I think actually Tyler Lockett is kind of like turning into like the next generation Deshaun Jackson. Just being a deep ball threat. He's very fast, very small. So I think that. But moving on. Actually, hold on. We have very little time on this Zoom, so we're going to stop here. We're back. All right. The Zoom is back on. All right. We are going to go to everyone's favorite segment.
Whoa. We have one more game to cover. I'm not letting this slide.
You almost got me.
I am not letting this slide.
What game is that?
Oh, we forgot to do Washington too.
Packers-Lions?
Who?
We forgot to do Washington too. Okay. Did we do Washington? Sorry for the mid-video interruption, but please enjoy this special edition of First Take featuring Josh, Alex, and Aaron arguing over Washington and the Giants. All right, let's get back into it.
No.
Yeah, we're doing
There's
that.
not much else to
I
say
don't want to
besides
talk
that
about
game.
that shitty ass game.
The football team got lucky. Very lucky.
I mean, we shouldn't have thrown a pick. We should have been passing, and with less than 3 minutes to go, and we have the ball, we have the lead. We should not be passing on second down.
The Giants guy shouldn't have jumped off sides when there's a clear, obvious field goal he's not going to block.
He still jumped off sides. He scared the entire line. We couldn't
Sterling
block.
Shepard, 94.
Do you think the original D-Hop is going to sit there and just watch everyone come towards him? He got scared at the beginning. He wasn't ready. He saw the flicker of his eye and he shanked it right. Okay? Doesn't matter. And plus, the wind pushed it to the right a little bit. You saw it was coming in and then back out like that. But then on the kick, God hit the reverse button, and it went out and it came back in. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how you win the game. You still win the game.
If you are a Saquon Barkley owner in fantasy, I do not feel bad for you at all because we all knew this was coming. He is absolutely horrible right now. Outside of his 141-yard carry, 12 carries for 16 rushing yards. Are you kidding me? I know it's a good defense, but
they're playing the best rushing defense in the NFL.
It's not going to get better until at least week 5 or week 6.
It's not going to get better until the Giants get rid of Daniel Jones. 2, their offensive line doesn't suck.
Their offensive line played pretty well. I'll tell you that. They played very well.
12 carries. That's not good.
They played in pass protection. They played very well.
How about that Ricky Seals-Jones touchdown, though? Man came in for one snap, did his job, got off the field, won them the game.
Never saw the field again.
The quickest 2-play drive you'll ever see.
Taylor Heinicke is the future of the football team.
He's 28.
He's the future of the football team.
Yes, well, he's not the past.
That's true. Either way, I'm very excited for that. And all right, time to move on to grind my gears.
Whoa! More game to cover. I'll do the talking here, fellas.
6 touchdowns.
Welcome back to episode 2 of Sports for Life's First Take, featuring Aaron, Alex, and Josh. We are here to discuss the Ravens-Chiefs game. Is Lamar legit? We don't know. Let's get back into it.
No. Lamar freaking Jackson. Action Jackson.
Big trust.
Big fly. Whoa. Pick 6, like I mentioned earlier. Pick 6 in the first drive. I got nervous. I'm going to tell you guys right here. I got nervous. I started pissing my pants. I was like, okay, we're really going to get blown out. But then I realized that we have a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. The overachieving Mike Vick. And he threw a pick in the red zone. And I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. But then once again, I had a realization. We have Lamar Jackson. We have the truth. And then this man just scampers around the field all game, runs around, does what he does. The run offense looked great. Hollywood once again looked great. Greg Roman probably called one of the best offensive games he's called since he's been here for us with the Ravens. Let me tell you.
Now, did the Ravens get lucky? I don't want to hear it. Did the Ravens get lucky?
Oh, of course they did.
I mean, when you're running back fumbles,
no business winning that game.
Who got luckier, Washington or Baltimore?
Washington. Washington had no business winning that game either.
Yeah, they did.
But like I was gonna say, I love fading the public so much when it comes to betting. Everyone and their mother was on the Chiefs in that game.
90% of the betting money was on the Chiefs.
Except for us.
All three of us called the Ravens. I thought that was beautiful. As soon as Lamar threw that pick 6, I immediately live bet on the Ravens, and it was just money bags from there. Easy fade the public spot. Everyone thought the Ravens were going to be disappointing after just one freaking game against the Raiders. Are you kidding me? They're still a top 10 team. There's no questions about it. I knew Lamar was going to beat the Chiefs at some point. And it just came in a spot where everyone didn't think it could happen.
I have 4 big takeaways I'm going to give you from this game. 4 major takeaways. 1, Lamar Jackson is still the answer. His play style, no one's going to figure that out. You can't figure out a dude who's going to run around the field like that.
The Raiders did.
He still ran for 100 yards and threw for 250.
Still won the game.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, just because you win a game by 3 points in overtime doesn't mean you figured him out. Figuring it out is holding him to maybe.
You still haven't figured out the Chiefs yet.
7. I mean, we beat them.
Oh my God.
Chiefs defense might be Swiss cheese. It might be Swiss cheese.
The Chiefs defense is Swiss cheese. All right, back to my takeaways. 2, Hollywood Brown, breakout year incoming. Dude looks great. Highest rated Raven according to PFF rankings so far. 3, the defense did just enough. The defense held down the fort. You cannot give the Chiefs points on defense. Their defense cannot score points. Because if you do, you're in a hell world trouble. Let me tell you that with that offense. Letting Travis Kelce run for 50 yards, that fat man, white man, running for 50 yards, oh, that can't happen. All right. Anyways, I'll go to my 4th take, my last one. Jackson Mahomes got so mad. He started pouring water on a fan. Are you kidding me? First, he was a TikTok on my field before the game. That don't fly. And he got what he was coming. He got what was coming. And so did Kermit the Frog.
He traveled all the way to Baltimore just to watch his little brother lose.
Too bad.
Wah.
Dump water again on the Ravens fan next time. You see what happens. You ain't going into Baltimore in a big game like that, and you can't expect any friendliness to come out.
I'm surprised they found them, honestly. In the box. They knew exactly which box he was in. But yeah, Jackson Mahomes. I don't know who
he was probably doing TikToks up in the box. I mean, it's pretty easy to see a dude doing TikToks from the box.
Yeah, that's pretty true. All right. Now, I'm very happy for you, Josh. Very happy the Ravens won. Very happy the Panthers won. I'm very happy that the football team won. Now it's time to move on to our everyone's favorite segment. Josh, I'm going to let you do this.
You already know what time it is. Week 3, another week of my favorite segment. The segment's always great. And I got some good ones this week. Let me kick it off. Here, cue the music.
You know what really grinds my gears?
You know what really grinds my gears? How small Kyler Murray is. I will say it every week. We're going to let this midget boy run around the field. He's like
400 yards.
They can't
400 yards.
They can't see him. He's so small. I mean, I could barely see him on the field. Look, I mean, he's like this size on the camera and on the field compared to everybody else. That's what he is. Tiny midget. You know what really grinds my gears? On the first drive of the game, your receiver falls down and your quarterback throws a pick 6. Get better cleats. Don't slip and fall. Are you kidding me? Figure it out. But it's okay. We still won.
You know what really grinds my gears? When Ravens fans win one game and they think, oh, we just won the Super Bowl. Craziest game of all time. Lamar's the MVP. Like, no.
Everyone and their mother let you know on Instagram that they won.
You beat one team one time. You're 1-1. Now let's move on. All right.
We're moving on.
You don't see us Panthers fans boasting about a win against the Saints. No, act like you've been there. Come on. Show some.
You know what really grinds my gears? Is when I said Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for 6 touchdowns, and Aaron Jones, selfish ass, takes a running touchdown, fall down at the 1-yard line. Let Rodgers throw his 5th touchdown. Give him a chance for 6. Selfish. Absolutely selfish, Aaron Jones. Selfish. You do not take away touchdowns from my boy, A-Rod. Cheesehead. State Farm. Can't do it. Can't do it. And you know what really, really, really grinds my gears? Let me read this for you right here. A few weeks ago, I do recall Stephen A. Smith saying this: if you're not an elite passer, you are not an elite quarterback, period. And then after we beat the Chiefs, Stephen A. comes back and says he's on another level, even another level from Michael Vick. Sports analysts change their takes. Snap of the finger, just like that.
Crazy how that happens.
You mess up, admit you're wrong. Admit you're wrong, don't change it. You kidding me? You kidding me?
You know what really grinds my gears? When Gus Johnson just screams in your ear on a big play. He had one there was one deep ball, I think it was to Christian Kirk, and he acted like it was a buzzer beater in the national championship of March Madness. He's like, ah, like that. It's very, very, very annoying. And I don't think he should be calling games anymore because he's also very small. So he's joining the category of how small Kyler Murray is.
Midget boy?
I mean, he's also a class A midget boy. And yeah. And you will also grind my gears. The new fucking taunting rule. Again, I know we said that last week, but it's fucking terrible. Alright? And how the refs have such a huge impact on the game. I just don't like the refs in general. Alright, and that's all I got.
All right, I guess if no one has any more grinds my gears.
I thought Aaron did.
He seems like he's cooking something up over there. Cook him up.
Here's Gus Johnson, baby.
It's that clean hole for the win.
You don't like that electricity? Come on. He gets the people going. That's what we want. Game-winning field goal.
But when you're a Class A midget boy, you can't really get the people going at all.
Let's move on.
Whoa. Kyler's in his own class. He is grade A, Class A midget boy. Everyone
MVP
else is
right
Class
now.
B and C.
MVP right now. 5 seconds.
Mahomes.
Stafford.
You guys are haters. 400 yards.
2 picks.
Yeah,
Carry
2
the
picks.
hell on. Carry the hell on.
I'll carry on.
Aaron, do you have any grinds my gears?
I already said mine.
Oh, I thought you had more. All right. Well, that's it for everyone's favorite segment. Guess what? We move on to something that we probably haven't done in a while. The hotter than your mother takes. You guys already know how this works. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna give a hot take for the rest of the season and what happened this week. We're gonna kick it off with Aaron.
I don't have any hot takes. Do I?
You said you did.
I don't think I do. I think the Panthers are going to make the playoffs. Is that a hot take?
Yes.
Their schedule is ridiculously easy. Top 5 defense? Maybe. Maybe not. Sam Darnold, MVP? You never know.
Who? The man seeing ghost is going to win MVP? Yeah, okay.
He's proving you wrong week after week. That's all I have to say.
Hotter than your mother's takes for week 3.
Hotter than your mother's what?
Takes.
Oh.
Takes. The Jacksonville Jaguars will stomp on Midget Boy. And they will win their first game of the season. Trevor Lawrence will throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And they will win their first game of the season against Midget Boy and the Cardinals.
You know what? I don't think that's a hot take. I really don't. I think the Jaguars are a million times better than everyone else thinks. And the Cardinals aren't as good as everyone else thinks. Did someone say bounce back?
The
Bounce
Jaguars
back?
are the worst team in football.
I still like Cardinals to cover. But if they don't cover, don't be shocked if the Jags pull an upset. That's all I'm saying.
Hot take, the Jags will win their first game. I'm saying it now.
I mean, I don't have a hot take for this week, but I have a hot take for the rest of the season. I don't know if it's really a hot take at this point, but I think that 4 teams from the NFC West will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
All
Like the year.
fucking 4.
It's like that's cap. Seahawks aren't making shit. Hell no. Hell no. If the
That is why it's
49ers
hot
stay
take.
healthy, the 49ers stay healthy, I like their chances. Cardinals, obviously, I like their chances. And yeah, it's best division of my life. No doubt about that.
Who will finish first if you had to pick right now? Who will finish first in that division?
Rams.
We'll get into it. We'll get into the power rankings in a little bit,
Rams.
but I'll take the Rams.
Sean McVay, Matthew
I will as
Stafford,
well take
MVP, Matthew Stafford.
Because they don't have a midget at quarterback. So that's their advantage.
And their defense is a lot better than the Cardinals' defense.
Yes, much better.
All right, moving on. We're going to a very generic segment. We're going to do the pick'ems, and we're going to add Aaron, didn't you say last week you wanted to bring up the model and we can guess the percentage on how everyone wins? Because that's
you
what
want
we're
to do
going
that?
to do today.
Let's do that for week 3 or week 4.
Week 4. No, we're going to do it for week 3 because we said we would do it at a later date, and we're not going to keep our fans waiting.
Why wait, Josh? Come on now.
Why wait?
I got the numbers right here. I got them right here.
All right, Joe.
Do we fade the model or tail the model? That is the question of the day, baby. Starting off Thursday night, Carolina, Houston Texans. It's not completely updated for everything, but we got Panthers winning 65% chance. Is that too high or too low?
It's too low.
Too low.
Way too low.
So lock it in. Panthers, easy dub.
Yeah.
Yes. Panthers by 10.
All right. Without Tyrod, I'm gonna have to agree on that one. I think the Panthers are gonna win. I don't think it's gonna be as big of a blowout as people think, but at the same time, my team has proven me wrong before, and they very well could. I like our chances. We can move on. Next, I have the Cardinals and Jaguars, exactly the same number, 65%. Josh and I already gave our take. A-Flow, what do you think about that matchup?
Jacksonville isn't it. Urban Meyer, terrible. He should go to USC already, or just go back to Fox.
He needs to go back to the booth.
over there. But again, I think it will be a lot closer. People think. I think Arizona will have kind of like a bump in the road this week. They'll struggle against a mediocre team like Jacksonville. But I still got the Cardinals. I think the Jaguars will cover at 7.5. So, I mean, yeah.
I just want to reiterate that I do think this is a great bounce back spot for the Jaguars, only because they're underdogs, and I love early underdogs. And I think the Jaguars are going to win 4 or 5 games at least this year, and I think this could be one of them. But I am picking the Cardinals to win a game. So for the official pick'ems, Josh, what is the verdict?
The official pick'em will be the Cardinals.
The Jacksonville Jaguars will stomp on Midget Boy.
But my hot take. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong.
Not a man of his word. There it is. All right, we will move on. Buffalo hosting Washington. And I have, coincidentally, again, 65% chance for the Bills in this one. What are we thinking?
I think your model just stays at 65 and doesn't change.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that all 3 of those are the same. But
no, the Bills will win.
Yeah.
There's not much disputing that.
I don't like our chances this week.
I'm personally very on the fence in this game. I think the spread's way too high. I got it at +9 for Washington.
Yeah, the spread is high.
I don't want to say it's a coin flip, but like I said, the Bills are overrated. I would not be shocked at all if they lose, much like week 1 against the Steelers. The Redskins offense did impress me on Thursday night last week. I'm going to have to go with the Bills, though. Gun to my head. So all 3 of us on the Bills, correct?
Unfortunately, yes. Yes.
All right, we move on. This one is not a 65%. Saints at Patriots. It's very close to a pick'em. I've got the Saints 52% chance. They are my lock of the week. I don't know why they're underdogs, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Bill Belichick will carve Jameis Winston apart. The Patriots will win. Mac Jones will show out. Jameis will have another week 2 performance, and he needs more LASIK.
Mac Jones, baby, rookie of the year. They're going to destroy the Saints.
Really?
They're going to
So I'm alone on this one. All right.
The Saints. Bill Belichick. I mean, New Orleans doesn't have a great record. You still remember the last time New Orleans played in New England with Brady and Breeze? And those teams were basically at the top of their game. It ended on a less than a minute to go, a game-winning catch by, I think it was thrown by, the greatest player of all time, Tom Brady. I forget who caught it, but I don't care. It was over Darren Sharper. If you guys know that video, you know
Darren Sharper,
the hardest hitting safety in the league. But yeah, I got New England by a lot.
All right, and we are moving on to one of the more boring games, potentially. Falcons at Giants. I think I might be in the minority here. I have Giants 57% chance at winning.
I like the Falcons. I mean, they held in there with Brady and the Bucks until those pick sixes. They were in there the whole game until then. So I feel like they'll ride the momentum and keep it going. I think the Falcons get the first win. The Giants drop to 0-3.
Another clear bounce back position here for the New York Football Giants. They should have won last week, and they will make sure they don't jump all sides on a field goal again. So I do think the Giants will win.
This is another game where I think I don't want to get too cute and just only pick underdogs. I do think the Giants are a better team, and they're at home. It was very similar to the Bengals-Bears game last week. I got caught trying to get too cute. I think the Bears are a better team than the Bengals, and they were at home, but I like the value. Sometimes Vegas does get it right, and this is probably a spot I will be leaning towards the Giants. Next up, Bengals at Steelers. Now, this one is going to be very interesting because Big Ben is sounds like he's about 45% chance to suit up. Even if he does, he's going to be banged up. I have the Steelers 67% chance to win, but that's if they're all healthy. So what do you guys think about this game?
It's Joe Burrow time. It's time for the Steelers to take their crash at the bottom of the division.
Who's the Steelers' backup?
Mason Rudolph.
Dwayne
Oh,
has
they're winning. 100%. Steelers are winning. They're covering too. They're going to win by touchdown. Again, it's going to come down. It's going to be a close game because they're always a close game. They're always very memorable games. But it will be a slugfest. It'll be one in the trenches. I don't think that both quarterbacks aren't going to do well, but it is going to come down to Joe Mixon and Najee Harris. But yeah, I think that I got Pittsburgh by 7. I think they're covering, but it will be close, and Pittsburgh gets their second win of the year.
If Mason Rudolph plays, will he get hit in the head by a helmet?
Probably. He probably will. I don't want anything to do with the Steelers if Big Ben is not under center. And at this point in his career, even if he is banged up, I'm still going to be fading him. The defense, we saw how banged up they were last week. They gave up almost 30 to the Raiders. Their offense has been really struggling behind that offensive line. I think the Bengals could get a grinded out win here, maybe a walk-off T. Higgins touchdown, maybe. I'm taking the underdog in this game. But we'll move on. Chiefs-Chargers. This might be my hot take of the week, but I have Chiefs winning 65%. All right, something's going on here. Why are there so many 65%? It's not important. Too high or too low of a number, A-Flow? What do we think?
Too low. This is I don't know. I think the Chiefs. I think it's all the way the Chiefs. I don't think the Chargers realistically have a chance in this game. I think that Patrick Mahomes will take this to heart. They lost to heart, and they'll grind out all week and win by 21 against the Chargers. I don't think Justin Herbert's gonna have a good game at all. Other than that, all Chiefs are all around a great team. And I just feel like that it will be a slaughterfest with revenge on the mind of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, another clear bounce back spot here. The Mahomes will throw for 400 and probably 4 touchdowns. They will be throwing the ball all over the Chargers defense. The Chiefs defense can hang on. They'll win by double digits. If they can't, they'll still win. I think this is a clear bounce back. I think the Chiefs will definitely pull this one out.
Yeah, I've made up my mind, Josh, and it is a clear bounce back spot. I think the Chargers are due for an absolute huge game. I think they're going to win this game. I've made up my mind. The Chiefs are they're not as good as people think. I've been saying it all year. We saw it against the Ravens. Their defense is so vulnerable. Justin Herbert last week, 340 yards and 17 points. That's not going to happen again. I look for a shootout here. I really do think the Chargers are going to win this game. I don't think they're better than the Chiefs by any means, but they're not a 1-2 team. I think they have the talent on offense. And, yeah, I like the upset. Call me crazy.
Bounce back game, but just the other way.
Just the other way.
The other way.
Cleveland Browns host the Chicago Bears, 65%. You know the deal. I've got the home favorite winning this one, even without Jarvis Landry.
Yep. If Fields plays, good night, Bears.
Oh, wait a minute. I love Justin Fields, though.
If Fields
He
plays,
will be
good
starting.
night. Good night, Chicago.
I don't know who to pick, honestly. I'm being very honest with you. I honestly have no idea who to pick.
Yeah, this is another spot, just like the Chargers-Chiefs game for me, honestly. I think the Chargers have a better chance to win, but I'll probably be taking both underdogs to cover a touchdown. But I do like the Browns to beat the Bears.
If I had to pick one,
You do. You
On
do
my
have
head.
to pick one.
Cleveland. There. I'll just go with the favorite.
All right, fair enough. And next we've got another near pick'em according to the model. Titans hosting the Colts. Carson Wentz is highly questionable with 2 sprained ankles. I don't know how that even happens. But I do have the Titans at 52% chance according to the model. I'm assuming you guys think that's too low.
Yes. Yes, way too low. The Titans will ride their momentum into next week, and they will stomp on the Colts, regardless if Wentz plays or not.
I think it's just right, honestly. I think Jonathan Taylor's due for a pretty big game. And this is one he's going to do. And then I think it's going to be a lot closer. I don't think Tennessee is going to perform like they did against the Seahawks. Obviously, Derrick Henry's going to have a big game. But Jonathan Taylor will come out and he will perform. I mean, who knows who's going to be the quarterback if Carson Wentz is going to be out. I mean, they put up – their defense is very, very good. And I just feel like that Ryan Tannehill's not been it this year, what Derrick Henry has. So
So did you
I'm going to take the Colts on this.
You're taking the Colts?
I'm taking the Colts.
I'm right there with you, Flo. I took him last week too, but even if Jacob Eason starts, I still think he's good enough. Like I said earlier, I think the Titans are due for a disappointing week, especially with their defense. I think the Colts last week, their variance was just horrible on that goal line. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor is going to absolutely destroy the Titans, and I think it's going to be a close game. Or the Titans could blow them out. I mean, or the Colts could blow them out, but I do like the Colts in that one.
I mean, they have to win eventually. You know?
Yeah, their defense is too good. They're too well coached, and their offensive line is very good.
Just not this week.
We'll move on to Detroit hosting the Ravens. It's a very interesting matchup, in my opinion.
Bounce back for the Lions, they say.
I've got the Ravens at 68% chance. What do you guys
That
think?
is just a little too low, my friend. A little too low.
Lions offense doesn't scare you?
If Detroit plays like they did the first half of Monday night's game, it'll be a lot closer of a game. So I think it's a little too high. But
They have no idea what's coming.
I still got the Ravens. Ravens are coming off a huge win. It's looking for a letdown spot, but at the same time, Baltimore is the better team. Detroit, they don't give up. And yeah, I got the Ravens though. Still.
I wanna like the Lions in this spot really badly. I really do. But the difference in these two teams is just way too big, in my opinion, on both sides of the football. I think if Lamar doesn't tear up that defense for at least 40 points, I will be genuinely worried about the Ravens because, oh my God, they're horrible. Sammy Watkins is going to have a big game. Tyson Williams looks good. I'm taking the Ravens. Josh?
I don't even need to give my pick here. I think we all know where we're going.
Lions.
Big trust to the moon. All right. Another interesting game this week. Raiders hosting the Dolphins. 56% chance to the 2-0 Raiders, according to the model.
Like I told you guys, the Raiders are here to stay, and they're here to win, and they will win again this week.
I mean, who knows with Tua? I mean, if he's playing, they have a better shot, but realistically, they never going to have a shot at all. Raiders, Vegas is back. The Raiders are here to stay. Raiders up by big.
We're sticking with the underdogs from this side. I only have these teams ranked 4 spots apart in my power rankings. I think if Tua plays, easy money line, underdog. The Raiders are overrated. The Dolphins are overrated too, but I think their defense is much better than the Raiders. I think they're going to surprise some people this week. Will Fuller's back. That's another positive for the Dolphins. I think it's going to be a close game. Even Jacoby Brissett, I kind of like him. I think he could get the job done as well. So I like the Dolphins. We move on. This is what my model has in agreement with Vegas as the biggest blowout of the week. Broncos host the Jets. Don't want to spend too much time on this, but I have 84% for the Broncos.
Yep. Broncos all the way.
Teddy.
All right, I will agree with that there. And then the game of the week, maybe the game of the year. Rams host the Bucks. It's a coin flip any way you look at it. I've got the Rams 52% chance only because they're at home. And I am picking them to win the game.
I will never bet against Brady ever again in my life. He will win. The Bucks will take care of business.
MVP Matthew Stafford throws for 5 touchdowns. Against the Bucks defense. Five. He will solidify his case. Jalen Ramsey is going to have 2 picks. Aaron Donald, 3 sacks. It's going to be a slaughter fest. Rams by 2 touchdowns.
These two teams played last year, and my God, it was one of the worst games I've ever seen Tom Brady play. He likes to fold under pressure. This week's going to be no different. It's the regular season. It's not his thing.
Folding under pressure. So I think 7 Super Bowls speaks otherwise.
Okay, anyways, last year, Tom Brady just did not look good against his team. I think these are 2 top 5 defenses, so it could go either way. The over-under is way too high. It's like 55, I think, at this point. But I think the Rams, top to bottom, are just as good as the Bucks. I really do. I like the way Stafford's been playing, and I think it could come down to the last possession. But I like the home team. In that stadium, it's going to be electric.
Bucks.
Vikings and Seahawks. Another great game in Minnesota this time. Are the Vikings going to go 0-3?
They're due. I'm rolling with them again. I'm rolling with the Vikes again. Captain Kirk's going to have 3 touchdowns this week. I'll limit my touchdowns. You'll have 3 this week. And
Give me the home underdog, baby. Fade the Seahawks.
In true Vikings fashion, they will make it a lot harder on themselves. But then again, I do think that the Vikings will win. This is a very, very, very clear bounce back spot. Vikings played one of the best teams in football down to the wire. They should have won. But yeah, I got Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins taking it down, taking the Seahawks down.
All right, moving on. We got Sunday Night Football action. 49ers host the Packers. Another good game. It's going to be a good slate this weekend, I think. I got the 49ers winning at 54% clip. What do we think about that?
Rodgers has 4 more touchdowns this week, and they win.
RELAX. Relax. Green Bay gets a game-winning drive out of Rodgers at the end. But it's going to be close. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to take the over also. It's only at 49.5. I don't know why. You're playing a average quarterback, average defense. Elite quarterback, elite defense. So what happens? We all set 49ers. So I think that Rodgers gets done. Game-winning drive right at the end.
I am really looking forward to this game. I think both teams have a lot of question marks right now, and we're going to learn a lot about both teams. I think whoever comes out on top will cement their spot in the top 10 for the time being. But we're going to learn a lot about the Packers defense and the 49ers offense. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers can keep doing his thing. I agree with you guys. I think it's a nice underdog spot for the Packers as well. I didn't really look too much into their first game against the Saints. I think they're going to be a phenomenal offense all season. And the 49ers are just way too banged up right now. So to finish things off, we head to Monday night. It's going to be another good game. Eagles at Cowboys, divisional matchup. I have the Cowboys winning this one 67%. I really like their chances.
Yep, the Cowboys will win. Dak will have another good game.
I wish I could say tie for this, but I don't want to pick any of them because I just hate them so fucking bad. I really wish I could say tie, but I'm gonna have to take Dallas on this. Dallas is by far the better team, and Philly has a ton of injuries. So I mean, Jalen Hurts will have a good game, but we have to see. All right, we're gonna go very quick because we are all. This is taking very long, but you guys want to do the power rankings or the Bob the Builder hammer locks?
Power rankings.
Okay.
Well, I do start them, sit them.
We don't have time for that.
We don't have time for that. We can't do power rankings, hammer locks, overachievers, underachievers, and start them, sit them.
We'll have to figure it out for next week.
Yeah. We'll give ourselves more time to do it.
But I think we should do the power rankings every other week for sure.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
All right. Aaron, since this is your idea, I'm going to let you start off. Give
All
us
right.
your top three.
So I think the Bucks are clearly number one, and then I have the Rams and Chiefs right behind them. I think that's a clear top three, so we can go from there. What do you guys think about that top three?
That's where I got it at.
I actually disagree with you guys. I have the Bucks and the Bills, and then the Cardinals.
That's your top three?
That's my top three.
All right.
Bills they will come around. They will come around. And when they do, you will see. And they're gonna come around. They're probably gonna win. They're gonna get a huge streak. And that one loss to Pittsburgh doesn't define them. I mean, they played a bad game. Yeah, Josh Allen played a bad game against the Dolphins. But guess what? He's still figuring it out. I think that Bills are by far one of the best team in the AFC. By far. I don't think the Chiefs are up there yet with that talent. But I mean, Chiefs are close. They're the second best team, but they're not as good as the Bills. That's why.
Hold on. I have a question for you here. I'm really confused by your logic here. I don't think much additions were made between the two teams from last year, and the Chiefs beat the Bills twice. What has changed?
Experience.
Huh?
But the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl, and that
what changed from last year is that Josh Allen is on a mission right now. He realized after week one that he has to actually.
And Mahomes isn't?
Well, Mahomes is also on a mission, but I think Josh Allen wants to actually do something for the city of Buffalo. I think this is more of a personal thing for Patrick Mahomes to get back to the Super Bowl, not for Kansas City. But I think Josh Allen and all the Bills are doing it for the city of Buffalo and want to do it for the city because those fans are very passionate and they want to see a Super Bowl be brought home.
So if the AFC Championship was tomorrow night and it was the Chiefs versus the Bills on a neutral site, you're taking the Bills?
100%.
All right.
You're trying to tell me Mahomes is not playing for the city of Kansas City?
No, he's playing for it's a personal thing. He already got that Super Bowl. Now he's taking it personal against the Bucs. He wants to overtake Tom Brady. He wants to dethrone him. This is more of a personal thing. Josh Allen and the city of Buffalo are very connected. I don't know how connected Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City are. I know that the fans love him, and I know that he loves the city, but I don't know if they have a strong connection with each other as stronger than Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, but city of Buffalo.
All right.
I don't think I ever disagreed with you more, A-Flow.
All right. So we got the Bucks. The Bucks is our only consensus top three team. That's our number one. Josh, did you say Rams or Chiefs?
I said Rams, Chiefs, 2-3.
All right. A-Flow, do you agree with Rams over Chiefs?
Yes.
You do? All right. We'll say the Rams are second. And then I have the Bills at 4. So Bills or Chiefs is a toss-up for us for number 3.
I don't think it's a toss-up.
A-Flow, yeah, you are outnumbered here. So we're gonna go Bucks.
Let's average it out. Let's average it out.
We did.
For the Bills?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bucks, Rams, Chiefs are top 3. I have the Bills next. A-Flow has the Bills next.
I have the Cardinals next.
I think we got to put Bills at 4. You guys want to have Cardinals at 5? That's fine with me. I personally have them at 9. I don't think they're as good as they've been playing.
I mean, as of right now, I don't think they can be anywhere outside the top 5.
Yeah, I just think if they played the Browns or the Ravens, they would get shit on. That's just me.
The Cardinals?
Yeah. I don't think they're as good as either of those teams. Even though they have
I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me.
All right, so we're putting the Cardinals at 5. I'm fine with that. So to recap, we got Bucks at 1, Rams at 2, then the Chiefs, then the Bills, then the Cardinals. That's our top 5. Moving on to 6, it gets tricky. Like I said earlier, I got the Browns and the Ravens still. If you guys want to throw either of those teams into 6, go right ahead.
I had the Chiefs at 6.
I would just say, based on previous years and Lamar owning the Browns, I would have to put them above. But it could easily flip, and I wouldn't be really surprised.
But what about – okay, I'm just going to go with my next pick since all the other picks are up there. I'm going to say 49ers, honestly. We could put them at this – I have them at my 5 spot.
I have them at 11.
I think they're a well-coached team. That defense is very good, except for – well, I don't know. They're an overall good team. They're solid all
They're
around.
too banged up for me right now.
I just don't think they would beat the Ravens or the Browns or the Packers.
I don't know.
So Ravens or Browns at 6, Aflo, what do you think?
I have Browns at 7, so I'm totally fine with
Browns over the Ravens?
yes.
All
Ravens
right.
aren't in my top 10, so don't ask
Really?
me twice. Yes.
All right, well, we'll get into that. So we got the Browns at number 6. After the Ravens, I have the Saints and the Packers.
Saints.
Still got the Browns. Yeah, Saints are pretty damn good.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
I
they completely
like it'd be-
torched the Packers by 35, and then they come out. They have a bad game against the Panthers, but they were missing 8 coaches and 5 starters. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. I still think they're better than the Packers. They were clearly better than the Packers.
I think the Packers are better. I still do. Week 1 didn't mean much, but
So you got Packers or Ravens?
well, I have the Ravens over the Packers. But just after the
I
Browns,
agree with that. I agree with that.
just after the Browns and the Ravens, I have the Packers.
I have the Packers at 11.
So you have the Ravens and the Packers out of your top 10.
Yes.
Wild.
Hotter than your mother take.
I mean, I definitely think the Ravens are better than the 49ers.
Uh-huh.
If that's what it's coming down to, and the Packers. So Ravens at 7. Is that the consensus?
Yep. Packers at Packers at 8.
No.
What's
None
the
of them are in
problem?
my top 10. So how can you put them at 7?
The 49ers aren't in my top 10.
Okay.
So are we going with the Packers? Are they in your top 10?
No, they're at 11.
Oh my God. All right, well then I have the Broncos in my top 10.
I do have the Broncos in the top 10.
I do not have the Broncos in my top 10.
Well, there you go. Something's got to give. It's got to be the Ravens. They just beat the Chiefs.
What about the Raiders?
The Raiders are not in my top 20. They're not making this list. They're not in my top 20.
I will say the Raiders did sneak into my top 10.
Are you telling me that the Raiders were the better team in week 1 against the Ravens?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you agree with that, Josh?
I mean, do I even have to explain myself? No.
I thought they got extremely lucky to win that game.
I mean, the Ravens,
Got to give.
they also got extremely unlucky, too.
Huh?
The Raiders got extremely unlucky, too. In overtime, when they threw that pick off of that guy's helmet. That's
I don't know.
that's beyond unlucky.
We got to put someone at 7.
And the Ravens have to go at 7.
Got to be Ravens, Packers, or Broncos.
It got to be the Ravens and the Packers. That's where I would have it at right now.
I'll take the Ravens over the Packers.
All right, whatever.
I feel like the Packers have to go to 8 then.
It's a
I feel like
consensus flow. Someone's got to give. What's the verdict?
the Packers can't be outside the top 10.
Ravens or Packers?
Packers.
I think those two are back to back.
I'll never side with the Ravens.
I have the Ravens at 6, Packers at 8, but we can put the Packers at 7. That's fine.
Then
Ravens.
those teams are back to back in the rankings. They have to be.
All right, let's put the Ravens at 8 then.
That's fine.
Can you tolerate this flow?
Do you have the Panthers in your top 10?
No, I have the Panthers at 18.
Jesus.
Have you been watching the NFL this year?
Yeah, I have, actually.
All right. So we said
Y'all be wrong.
6
Y'all be wrong.
6 is the Browns, 7's Packers, 8's the Ravens.
We need 9 and a
My
10.
next team would be the Saints, but it sounds like you guys don't like that. So after that,
I don't like the Saints in the top 10 right now.
I do not.
I have the Broncos and the
Saints.
49ers back to back.
What?
The Broncos and the 49ers are back to back for me.
I think my Raiders, the Raiders have to sneak in there. At least in mine. At least in mine, they've snuck in.
There's just no way on paper you can convince me the Raiders are better than the Broncos. There's no way. Darren Waller, yeah, he's better. Derek Carr, yeah, he's better. That's it.
If those two teams they play right now, I'd have a problem. I would have trouble picking that game.
I would not. The Broncos defense is absurd. It's so good. They're the best secondary in the NFL easily. And Bradley Chubb, Von Miller. They're a top 10 team.
I guess it would have to be them or
Broncos,
the
yeah.
Niners.
They see the
What'd you
field
say,
goal.
Josh?
I guess it would have to be them and the Niners for the last 2 spots.
I'm happy with that. So
Would you have
Flo,
the Niners over the Broncos? Or flip
I have the Broncos 1 spot ahead.
That
I have the
works.
Raiders, Panthers, and Broncos finish out 8 or 10.
This dude.
Somebody has some recency bias. Just gonna say it.
I'd be fine putting Broncos at 9.
I literally said the Panthers are going to make the playoffs this year.
I do too, but they're not a top 10 team yet. They have the same
Why not
roster they
call it
had
now?
at the start of the season. Did you think they were a top 10 team then?
What, at
No.
the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
Maybe like 11.
Just because they play 2 easy games and win both doesn't mean they're any better or any worse.
You just said the Saints were good.
You're telling me preseason rankings you had the Panthers at 11?
Uh-huh. I literally called it too. I said the Panthers are going to be good. And y'all were like, no.
I like this guy.
This dude.
I mean, 7.5 wins over was easy, but top 10, I don't know. Our offensive line is still bottom 3 in the NFL.
Okay, we have to have a consensus here. With the consensus, this is our consensus. It's got to be Bucks, Rams, Chiefs, Bills, Midget Boy Cardinals, Browns, Packers, Ravens, Broncos, Niners.
I'm happy with that. I still think you guys are overrating the Cardinals, and I think Kyler's an MVP. Other than that, I like the list.
I'm happy with it.
It's just so
works.
silly. You guys think that the Ravens are a top 10 team.
I mean,
How can you say they're a top 10 team when they lost their second best defensive player and lost both their running backs?
because they're still capable of beating the best team in football. And they did.
It was due.
They have a top 5
bound
coach,
to happen.
a top 5 quarterback, and a top 5 running game. I'm not worried at all about the
Top
defense.
5 quarterback. Oh my god.
All right, top eight quarterback for sure.
No. Your first statement was correct. Top 5 quarterback.
He's like Tom Brady. All right, well, we'll get into this debate. I got Mahomes. I got Josh Allen, Kyler, Russell Wilson. And then you could say Stafford, Brady, or Lamar, in my opinion.
I would take Lamar. Oh, obviously you can't. Brady's obviously ahead. I mean, that's hard to dispute. The only question mark I have in that, the only question mark I have in the first 4 of your list is Russ. I think he's great, but I think he's declining.
Yeah, I'm
Was he
taking
cold?
Russ on my team over Tom Brady every time. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can do that. I mean, clearly it's got to start Mahomes, Allen. Those are clearly the top two. The next like 4 or 5 could go any which direction.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting MVP race, I think. All those guys could win it at this point.
I just don't think Stafford's up in that category yet. I think he's got a lot of work to do.
Oh, he'll get there. He will get there. All right. Now we're going to enough talking about that. This is already a very long episode. But we're going to move on to the overachievers and the underachievers, and we're going to go to the Hammerlocks. And that'll be it. All right, Josh, who is your biggest overachiever this week?
The Baltimore Ravens. I think hands down, yes, there's bias in this answer. Yeah, I have bias. I understand. I'm admitting it. I'm admitting it right now. But you lost preseason. You lost your second best quarterback, your top 2 running backs. Your secondary's depleted. Your defense's injuries are just killing this team right now. And yet we found a way to come from behind and beat the second or third best team in football this year. I think that is clearly stating to how hard they play, how good this team can really be, even with these injuries. And imagine if they had these key players still on the team, still healthy this year. I think they're a clear overachiever this week, and I think the rest of the world can agree with that.
We know A-Flow agrees with that.
No comment. Chiefs should have won. I'm so mad about that. Chiefs should have won, but I had the Ravens anyway.
That's the game. That's football.
You got to play the game.
All right.
Now
I
I
really
move
don't have
on
any
to
other-
my overachiever. I'm going to say it right now. Is Tyrann Mathieu. He had a great game. I'll tell you that right now. That pick 6, electric. Shoved it right down Ravens fans' hearts. Throats. Yeah. That's it, Tyrann Mathieu. Aaron, who do you got?
I mean, I can't really pick a team right now, so I'll be the villain here. I'll give another hot take. My overachiever of the week is Derrick Henry. He's not going to be a stud running back like he was last season. It's just not going to happen. Historically, we've seen running backs who get fed the ball 1 million times a game just cannot produce for this many seasons. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I'm sticking with the historic data. He's not going to be that good the rest of the year. That's my overachiever of the week.
All right.
On the flip side, I'll go with my underachiever now. I thought it was a pretty easy decision. Outside of the Panthers game, I will say that the Pittsburgh Steelers underachieved, in particular their offense. That's now 2 weeks in a row that they're only averaging 20 points a game against below average defenses or average defenses. Big Ben.
It's less than that because they had a blocked punt.
Yeah, exactly.
Bills game.
This team is not. They're not going to be bad. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be fighting for the playoffs. They still have a top 3 defense when healthy. Look for Najee to keep playing better. He did a lot better in week 2 than he did in week 1. And Deontay is phenomenal still. He's banged up. So we'll see how it works out. But I expect the Steelers to bounce back rest of the season.
Even with all the coaching nonsense, all the COVID nonsense, the Saints went through. They are my underachiever of the week. After doing what they did to the Packers in week 1, I think everyone had their hopes high, especially on Jameis. And he went back to not being able to see this week. He did play a good defense, and there was no coaches there for any side of the ball. But after doing what they did to the Packers week 1 and then coming out and doing that in week 2, pretty clear underachiever here.
Excuse me. I'm still sick. But my underachiever this week is Dak Prescott. He threw for exactly 237 yards, 0 touchdowns and a pick against the Chargers. The Chargers have a good defense, but still, if you want to be the highest paid quarterback in the league, you have to be able to do more than nothing. he did nothing. So that's my underachiever for the week. And now we move on to the last segment of the show. Thank you for sticking with us if you're still here listening. We got the Bob the Builder Hammerlocks. All right. Josh, we'll start out with you. How many locks do you have?
I have one. I only like one game. Green Bay Packer money line. Underdog. The Niners are on their level. I think Packers still are an elite team, elite offense. Their defense leaves a lot to be questioned. Their defense is all over the place. But I don't think the Niners offense, especially their whole running back room is just trashed right now. It's very injured. And I think Rodgers, like I said, will throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns this week. And I think they will win. So that is it.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to my locks of the week. I have 4, actually. First one, we reiterated this earlier in the show, but I have Minnesota money line. I think they'll get it done against the Seahawks. And I don't think Russell Wilson's going to have the best of the game, but he will have, I don't know. I'll take that back. He will have a good game, everything. Now moving on. I have Pittsburgh by 3.5. Historically, these games are between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are very good. They are very close, but I think that this year, I don't know. It's just a funny feeling. And then this one's pretty obvious. Baltimore by 6.5. I think it will be a close game. I think the Ravens will underachieve, but I don't think that Detroit has the capabilities to beat Baltimore.
Stop. It's not 6.5, A-Flow. I don't know where the hell you saw that number. If it was, I would take it. But it's 8. It's either 8 or 8.5. So does that change anything? Sorry, I just want to be correct.
Hold on. I swear.
8. Big difference. Key number of 7. Big difference there. Ravens minus 8, minus 105.
All right, whatever. Oh, I read that wrong. Yeah, it was 8.5. But I'm still taking it. But yeah, and I also have the Panthers and Texans over at 43.5. I think that it will be a decent scoring game. I would say it's like, I don't know, 24-20, something like that. I think that Houston will have a decent day on offense. A little surprise to everyone's guts. But yeah, I think it's going to get it by barely.
The Texans score more than 10 points, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I agree. Their run game is the only thing going for them at this point without Tyrod, and you can't run against the Panthers defense at this point. So I do like the over. I think if it happens, the Panthers will have to score 30 points, which is very achievable. Moving on to my lock of the week. Got my hammer out. If you want some free money from Vegas this week, they're just offering it on a silver platter. I've been saying this all podcast. I don't know why the Saints are underdogs. They're a top 10 team. They're much better than the Patriots. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but I like Sean Payton a lot. And they're plus 140, which is a joke. It had me laughing earlier. I was in tears. I don't know why Vegas is just giving away free money. Take the plus money. Take the money line, plus 140 while you can. Dog of the week, baby. Hammer it.
All right. That was a long-ass show.
I have one more closing remark.
Go ahead.
If you own a Texans player in fantasy football, please, please, please do not start them this week. Please.
Retweet. It's just Brandon Cooks. He's the only one. I don't know why you would ever start Mark Ingram. But Brandon Cooks is going to be guarded by Dante Jackson and Jeremy Chin, and you never want your receiver getting covered by those guys. So,
especially with your backup playing.
Leave him on your bench. I love Brandon Cooks this year in fantasy, but I will be benching him.
Yes, please. I'm begging you. Don't do it.
All right. And that concludes episode 3 of the Sports for Life podcast. Again, long ass episode. I'm sick. I think Josh is still dealing with some symptoms, maybe. And yeah.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Who?
Who?
You good?
You kidding me?
Midget boy?
Midget Boy and Yoda.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening and watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the episode, we definitely appreciate you. And yeah, join us next time. And next week, we'll see you all next week.
We out.
He's out.
Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay.